Greetings, my sports to the bone people. Welcome back to another video. Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you all for tuning in. So, I know that we're in the middle of the T20 World Cup fever. People enjoying themselves with the fast-paced game. But I personally still believe that Test cricket is the ultimate form. So once there is some information out there about our Test team, I am definitely going to pause the T20 thing and spend some time to talk about the Test. So yesterday, CWI, they named a 15-man squad that will be touring England. And I did a video, and in the comment section, quite a few people were a bit worried about the batting. They were saying that the bowling will be able to keep up with England, but they are not too sure what's going to happen where the batting is concerned. So there are a few names that were mentioned that people believe should have been included. Gonna talk about it. Gonna talk about those players. Plus, we're gonna talk about the recently concluded 4-day regional championship. So give a listening ear until the end. Also, remember to subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. Alright, so just to remind you of that squad before I go down into what I have to say here. Craig Brathwaite, Alec Arthanes, Joshua De Silva, Jason Holder, Kevin Hodge, Tevin Imlach, Alzari Joseph, Shamar Joseph, Michael Louis, Zachary McCaskey, Kurt McKenzie, Goody Kishmoti, Kemar Roach, Jaden Seals, and Kevin Sinclair. So those are the 15 players that are set to tour England. Now, where the batting is concerned, that is the part that a lot of people, they are worried about. Shea Hope, Brandon King, Nicholas Pooran. Those are three names that were mentioned a lot yesterday when the squad came out. Some people went as far as to say not naming Shea Hope, Brandon King, and Pooran to a lesser extent is a waste of time. Not naming them in the squad is a waste of time. Simply saying that they should have been there. But in the comment section, some people were saying that Raston Chase should have been in the squad also. Now, I was trying to explain in the comment section that if people are not available, the team still has to tour. The cricket must go on, right? Brandon King, we all know of his talent. We all know that he can be the 3-format player. Right? We all know that. But with his T20 career taking off, Brandon King seems to be focusing mostly on that format. Now, shortly before we went to Australia for that test series that we drew, Brandon King, after he was asked and he declined, his management team came out and they gave a statement saying that Brandon King is still hungry to play Test cricket. Brandon King wants to play Test cricket. That is his ultimate goal. Just to make sure that I am not telling any lies on him, this is the article here that I shared back then with the manager. Right? So this is it, and I quote, Brandon had opted out of the opportunity to be a part of the West Indies Test squad for the tour of Australia. They say he had meetings with both head coach and Andre Coley and the head selector Desmond Haynes. And given the circumstances and upcoming T20 World Cup, he has decided to focus on gaining more experience and preparing for the T20 format. Right? Now, that is what was said. Right? In the further down, they said that he remains committed to playing Test cricket, as that is a goal of his. Right? We can understand going into the T20 World Cup, even though I personally thought back then that going to Australia would have been a good test for some of these players. right? So we can understand that where Brandon King is concerned. Now what we want to hear is what's happening now. I remember a tour that went on, he was given the opportunity to play, right? I think it was Pakistan. I don't remember where we went, but he played in an A series recently. He was in the 4-day regional championship for West Indies, the last for Jamaica, the last one, right? The West Indies 4-day championship. Didn't finish because of an injury, right? So with him being fit now and playing in the T20 World Cup, it would be nice to hear why is it that his name wasn't mentioned for the upcoming tour, right? This is after the World Cup. So seeing that he turned down the chance to go to Australia because he wanted to prepare for the World Cup. The World Cup will be out of the way. What is it? What is the issue now? What is the issue? What is preventing Brandon King? As I said, nothing has been said just yet. So we definitely want to hear that, right? Because he was in the 4-day regional championship, got injured. So obviously he's showing that he wants to play the red ball format, right? He wants to play. Desmond Haynes a few months ago said that Brandon King, along with a couple of players, other players, these are players that they are looking to build teams around. Talking about both formats, right? So it would be nice to hear what the issue is now, seeing that we're going to England in July and the World Cup ends on the 29th. I personally understand people wanting to go and play T20 cricket, because it is a job. You are working. They are working. It is a job. I understand that. Because if they are not performing for West Indies, they are going to be dropped and they are going to lose contract, and that's losing income. So I can understand when a man wants to go and play T20 cricket, because that is how they earn a living. That is how they earn, right? I'm not going to sit here and behave as if me being a fan means that players should just play to entertain fans and don't worry about anything else, right? We know that's not the case. But what we would like to hear is what is the situation with Brandon King. All right, Brandon King, he has a couple of first class games under his belt, right? So he has 38 games under his belt, 2,348 runs, high score of 194, average of 35.04, right? 3 centuries and 16 half centuries. 3 centuries and 16 half centuries at an average of 35.04. His cricket is getting better, so we could see him playing a role. So we would like to hear what the situation is where Brandon King is concerned. The next name that came up a lot, Nicholas Pooran, right? The last I heard of Nicholas Pooran where red ball cricket is concerned, was when he said that a couple of years ago, when he said that, listen, he would like to play test cricket, but with all the white ball cricket that is being played, he doesn't have the time to play. And when he said doesn't have the time, he's probably talking about to play a couple of games in the first class system. So is it that if we see a man performing extremely well in ODIs, not even T20s, in ODIs, you can give them a look in without playing the 4-day championship? Based on their requirements now, I mean, CWI don't come out and give us their criteria, because we have been asking for it and then they don't really give it to us. But if a man is performing extremely well in ODI format, will they give him an opportunity to just go and play without playing in the first class system? Because that is the last thing that Pooran said. Pooran is playing ODIs for us, he's playing T20s for us, and he's all over playing franchise cricket. So the little break that he will get here and there, he's going to spend time with his family. And I have always said, I can't knock a man for doing what is in the best interest of their family. Not going to knock a man for that. So is it that the selecting process needs to be a bit more flexible Or is it a case of if they become too flexible with it, then we're going to start pulling people from T20s and ODIs that, they are just not batting enough balls to go and play Test cricket. Is a lot to it. There's a lot to it. So that's the latest thing I remember hearing about Nicholas Pooran where red ball cricket is concerned. Him saying that, he doesn't have the time to do that. Where his first class cricket is concerned, he has 5 games under his belt. 5 games under his belt. Now, Pooran, I remember when he came on the scene. I don't remember him from youth cricket, from under 19 or anything like that. But I remember when he came on the scene and in CPL. And, he proved that he was definitely one to watch, right? And he was very good in terms of hitting the ball. And that is how he has developed. And then he got that injury where he actually broke both legs back then. And then from then, he came back and he was just T20s, ODIs. So in his 5 first class games, he has 319 runs. High score of 69, average of 31.90, right? And he has 250s in those 5 games. So Pooran has some red ball cricket under his belt, but it has been a while since we have seen him. So I don't know how that will work out. Now, another name that we heard yesterday was Shai Hope. Quite a few people asking for Shai Hope to come back in, right? Because of his ODI form. I remember when Shai Hope was in the test team, we tried him as an opener, tried him as a number 3, number 4, right? Failed, went back, dominate, was playing well in ODIs. They brought him back in, didn't work out, and then he got kicked back out of the team. And he actually went to play some county cricket last year. And that is why I was thinking that he was on his way back in. I think it was Yorkshire. Yes, Yorkshire that he signed for and played 3 games. I think he played the first 3 games there. And he didn't do too badly, right? But then Shai Hope also played in I think it was the PSL, the Pakistan Super League, and he was doing well, right? So from there, his T20 game took off. So then again, it became a challenge for him to choose between T20s and tests, right? And tests. So Shai Hope, as we know, is class. Shai Hope is class, especially in the ODI format. And we have always wondered, why is it that, he wasn't able to transition into transition all of that form into test cricket, right? Because he had a good little run, and as I said, him going to Yorkshire and playing. I was so happy because I was thinking to myself that Shai Hope's gonna be back, right? But then came the T20s. Shai Hope started to do well in T20s, and then this is how it's looking now. So I'm not too sure what's gonna happen where Shai Hope is concerned and test cricket, right? As I said, we know the class of the man, but I have said it before, carry the horse or the donkey go to the water, can't force them to drink it. And the cricket must go on. A lot of people like to say when their players are not selected or when their players make themselves unavailable, people say that CW are not trying hard enough. They need to try and convince the players. How you going to carry a big elephant or a big donkey to the water? How you going to force them head into the water to drink the water? Not possible, right? So some people saying that CW are not being convincing enough. Probably they need to. I can't say they need to ease the criteria. The criteria what they are looking for, because I don't know. It's never something that they really make public like that. So we don't know what's the situation with Shai Hope. Another name that came up a lot was Raston Chase. I personally would be I am happy with Kevin Sinclair getting the spot. I have no issues. Kevin Sinclair finished off the West Indies Championship as the 3rd leading run scorer, right? Plus he's bowling well. Third leading run scorer. Not saying that he's going to bowl down Australia. But in my opinion, where the red ball cricket is concerned now, Kevin Sinclair is the front runner. Gudikish Bounty was the next one behind him. But Kevin Sinclair, in my opinion, has that slot. Right? Another player that I am wondering what's happening. Casey Carty, right? He was first, second, third, fourth. He was the fifth highest run scorer in the recently concluded regional championship. It's not like he has the best stats in the world. But every time I see this man, it looks to me as if he is developing. His game is growing. And for the life of me, I cannot understand why he's always out of the test squad, and not even reserved sometimes. And then when I look, I see, when the shorter format come, I see his name being mentioned. Right? And I can't understand what's happening. I cannot understand what's happening. Just as though we have a crop of young bowlers coming through, we need to have a crop of young batsmen. And Casey Carty has been there for a while now. Alright? And he's somebody that I think they should invest in. We have Shamar Joseph coming through. We have Jaden Seals coming through. Isaiah Thorne coming through. Azari Joseph is still there. These young seamers, they are there. We see where they're working with Alec Arthanes, Kurt McKenzie, right? We see Michael Louis just got an opportunity. Stage was just dropped. So we see where they are trying with some new batsmen. But what is the issue with Casey Carty? What is happening? I'm not gonna say that he has the most he's the most prolific or whatever, but I can't understand. I cannot understand. This is test cricket, and it just looks to me as if this is a man that we should be trying with. You understand? But for some reason, he's always not getting in. So, that is my little take on all of this, my people. That is my little take on all of this. The cricket has to go on. The show must go on. So, people that are wondering and saying, how is it that so and so not going? Remember, if a man decline, you still have to keep pressing. Right? I don't know what the case is with Brandon King, but remember now, he was invited a couple of times and wasn't available. Right? We have seen the likes of Shea Hope. We have seen these guys and people behaving as if every time the test squad is named, people behaving as if the the T20 specialist, they are surprised when they are not named. You see the people are always unavailable. What will happen is when they are not being selected, then all of a sudden you're going to see them coming back, right? When they're not being selected by franchise teams, all of a sudden you're going to see them becoming available. People will be doing everything to play red ball cricket to try and get back into West Indies team, right? And we have it happening right in front of our eyes right now. I don't know. Probably I'm fussing over nothing. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. Big up.